So we were talking about pulling. So when you're pulling, and let's see, my first step when I teach pulling is going to be a bucket step, and I want to be able to get a little bit of depth and a little bit of length. And this would be right if I'm a player pulling to the right. And then my second step is going to be somewhere over like here, right? So that's the footwork. What I think is underrated, because if you're a big like 250 pound guy, like moving your upper body is slow, right? And you're already probably slow. So I was always taught, right? You pretend that you've got like a glass of water on your back, right on like your tailbone. And the idea is out of your stance, you want to rip your elbow back and try to knock that glass of water off of your back. So if you can really open up your chest and do that step at the same time, you're going to put your body in, you're going to open up 90 degrees and be able to run straight. Too often those first steps are jumbled, or guys' feet are getting mixed up, or they're just so slow, like they get caught up. Really focusing on ripping the elbow. And I teach this with A-backs. It's the same thing with trying to take arc steps, right? Swing that body open the hips, point the toe to the sideline 90 degrees, and get going down to where you need to go to pull. So that, that's counter option, that's QB counter, that's down G, any type of traps that you want to run. There are some short pulls where you might, skip pull. I'm not as big of a fan of skip pulling just because I think it causes guys to stand straight up fairly often. But that's just my opinion. So when you're pulling, the two main types of pulling plays, you basically have two options, and some of it depends on who you're pulling for. But if we were just, let's take flex bone stuff out of this. If you're pulling for this guy, based on what he's doing, you're either going to try to kick him out like an old school trap. And that's going to be right. He's going to come up the field thinking he's really good. You as a puller are going to go put your head inside and kick him that way, therefore opening up this hole. If you're running more of a QB counter, more of a counter option, you're going to want to log. So when you log, if this tackle is veer releasing, what that means is this guy is squeezing and he's staying on the line. He's like a robot, right? He is just kind of keeping his chest flat. He is taking the air out of the gap and just coming straight down. When he does that, what we're going to do is log. So instead of trying to kick this guy out, because he's not coming across the line, there's no surface for us to hit, we're going to keep going across here, and we're going to loop and button hook him inside. So similar to every other play, come straight down the line, get your head across to the outside, and you're going to try to create kind of this bookend here. So when he realizes, right, if this is counter option, quarterback's going to fake here and come back around. If he's watching dive, which he should be, once he realizes that the quarterback is turning around, your guard should already be there to bookend him in. I think it's an underrated block. I think a lot of flexbone teams, I know we are a little bit more weary of running counter plays if we're not confident we can get that log block. But just knowing that between the two of those, that's really how you're going to want to pull. And from there, again, getting your head across using two hands, one to the sternum, one to the outside shoulder, get them turned, keep driving your feet. We haven't talked